Never take a laxative and a sleeping pill at the same time. Good tip. Are we on? Oh.
If y'all heard that.
That's a way to come into the show. We're sharing tips.
Skills tip of the week.
Yeah, there's your tip of the week.
Welcome to some Mad Skills pregame show.
If y'all didn't catch that, which one did I say last? Oh, never take a laxative and a sleeping pill at the same time. That's a good tip for you.
Makes for a long, rude wake up.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, it's a pregame show. We're just getting everybody to sign on and share this, and we're going to give some stuff away tonight. Not sure what we're giving away, but we're going to give something away tonight.
The usuals.
Mm-hmm. So share it with all your buddies on social media and family, friends, whatever. Even the people you don't like.
Yeah. It's a good way to get about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Bree caught me by surprise there. I didn't realize that we were going on live.
It happens. Yeah. It happens. This whole show's a surprise.
Yeah. I got some cool music playing in the background.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
I got tunes playing. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But we can.
Yeah, I can hear it pretty loud and clear. Even in my bad ear.
That's it. So we're just giving you all a chance to get signed in. Hopefully you all did some good fishing these past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. It was nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice, mellow weather,
yeah.
Calm winds.
Man, redfish bite's good again.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Not getting a lot of short ones anymore either. So usually this time of the summer we get a lot of shorties, and not so much this year, which is it's nice. You know?
You're not complaining.
No,
You're not complaining. Found a really nice school too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice day.
Oh yeah. I'll check it out. You know, just to make sure they're still there.
That's it. You know, never know.
Yeah.
At least the 100 that were there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So hopefully you guys turned in your photos this week, because I really want to go do some fishing, so I'd like to at least see what y'all are catching.
Yeah.
In today's society, you could just Photoshop yourself into their pictures and
could do that.
call it a day.
Yeah. Make myself feel better about it.
That's the only thing that...
Face swap.
Let me turn my mic on.
Here's a tip for you. Turn your mic on when you're on live.
That's it.
That's the only thing that AI could not figure out, is if Billy were to say, AI, make me catch fish.
I still wouldn't know what to do.
Quarantine.
Unknown.
Yeah.
Impossible.
We'd put them up in Seattle at that fish market, actually literally catching fish.
That's it. Yeah. Right off the back of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never seen that, it is pretty cool. At Pike's Place Market, where they toss the fish.
Toss fish at each other. Yeah.
That's how they unload them, I'm assuming?
No, I don't know. It's a market.
Yeah, well,
somewhere
they truck them down there. It's not like here where the boats are right there. So they truck them to the market, and then they sling them off the truck into the seafood market.
Like they do watermelons down here.
Yeah,
but they do
mullet.
fish.
Yeah, the good old mullet toss.
Oh yeah,
Won that back in 2013, I think it was.
Did you? Yeah, that's the one they have in Homosassa, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shortage of mullet out there to toss.
Oh no, we like tossing mullets.
Well, if y'all are ready, I think we're ready, and we'll get the show on the road.
Let's do it.
Here in Florida, every name tells a story. Just saying Ian, Nicole, or Michael brings about strong memories. But then there's Adam.
How are you? Better not see you.
And Gary.
Hey.
Together, their teams helped rescue over 3,500 people. And Vicky, she used her food truck to feed the community.
Thank you so much, guys.
And Andy, he flew medical aid to devastated communities. But then there's Shane, Clyde, and Robert. Together, they have more than 60 years of storm experience. They stand with an FPL team of thousands, ready to respond. So as the next storm approaches, just know we're prepared. Here in Florida, every name tells a story, and every name is important. Because together, we can weather any storm.
All right, that's the last. Go ahead, Billy. You say it was your idea.
That's going to be the last time we bring up something about a hurricane.
Yep, no more hurricane commercials. It was cool to help the other people, but we're done.
I don't want
no more hurricanes because we're not going to have any more.
That's it. Yep, never again.
We're all done.
Yep.
The hurricanes are all done.
Yeah.
But you know what's not done? Fish Talk Live. Welcome to
Fish Talk Live.
presented by some amazing companies out there. Great Mad Skills Electric pregame show, gentlemen.
Oh, you know.
It's a good time to get everybody, getting ready for pregame in and hanging out, getting their coffees ready, Red Bulls ready, Market 48 beers ready. You got a Homosassa Lager, I see.
Good old Homosassa.
Love it. All right, guys. So, guys and ladies, tonight we're talking about the mollusks. Mollusk.
Bivalve. Yep, the migratory mollusk.
The bay scallop, or as our friends from the north call it, the scallop.
The scallop.
Yep.
Don't you know?
It is going to be an incredible start of the season.
Yeah, at least the start will be.
I'll be honest with you all. I've born and raised here my entire life. We've had seasons good. We've had seasons bad. Billy, as kids, I specifically remember, and I'm talking about a young kid, specifically remember going out to go scalloping. Your dad drove us around all over the place for several hours. Couldn't find the first scallop, except for a couple here and there.
Yep.
And he said, it's just going to be one of those seasons. Not going to happen. Let's go red fishing instead.
That's it. It's going to be one of those days we're fishing.
So I am, for one, hoping that the scallop season that we've already started to see and that we're going to see is going to stop everybody from saying, we need to close scallop season down. They're getting overpicked. There's too many people scalloping. Just like anything else, guys, it's wildlife. It's unpredictable. There's a lot of different things we can do. University of Florida started the scallop sorter initiative.
That's a big hit for last year, and that's what I think is contributing to this year.
Absolutely. CCA Florida jumped in last season, put out thousands and thousands of those sorters, and
that would be this thing here.
That thing right there, and that really helped. With their marketing and their background. Again, University of Florida came up with the idea, an incredible idea.
CCA stamped it out.
Stamped it out, literally. Well, actually, Extreme Decalz.
Decalz did, yes.
Extreme Decalz stamped it out. Hold that thing up again. Look how attractive that is. If you need to grab some of these, they're free right here at Ozello Keys Marina. Hey, Brianna, the video just went through.
Plenty of them.
They are free right here at OKM. A lot of the different marinas, Matt Cray's, Riverside Resort, all the different places, Crystal River, up to Steenahatchee has these scallop sorters, so go grab them. There's a little QR code. If you scan that QR code, you're going to see some very familiar faces in a video explaining the reason behind the scallop sorter.
Oh, God, is it us?
It's us. Still there.
Oh, is that the thing you guys needed to work on for like 6 days to get 3 minutes correct?
We literally had to tell Brianna that we were somewhere else so we could finish it.
Yeah.
She kept coming up here. Remember that?
It was terrible.
We thought we were on a roll, and then she would put her head in the door. Hey, guys, I'm Gary and Billy.
There's a whole reason why nothing in our show is scripted. Yeah. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, we screwed up with that one.
A lot.
That was the first time we've ever written something down and said, oh, this is such a perfect thing to say. Billy, check this out.
Idiot.
Came out like a soup sandwich.
We were finally somewhere, and all of a sudden Billy's hand started doing this.
He's not lying.
It sounded good in theory, just didn't work out in reality.
Oh, it was terrible.
No.
Awful.
After 4 days, we nailed it.
We did.
Yeah.
And it was a hit. It was a success. One difference that I'm seeing this season is how shallow and in they already are.
Yeah, I heard they're like in 12, 13 foot.
Minus a few. I mean, you are literally finding them up against the mangroves right now.
Pretty wild. Pretty wild. I mean, the lack of rain has helped in that aspect, I think.
And it's not right now. We started seeing them well over a month ago on the airboat during tours. Actually, Bree, is that video ready?
Yeah, because, I mean, you get out there in the tours, low tide, drifting over those grass flats, and what the boat disturbs as you drift, looking on the backside of it, scallops are just moving.
I'm going to have to get one of those Bubba nets So that way, like you did 2 years ago, I can just stand on the front of my boat with my net in the seagrass and just pick them up.
Just drift on through.
One time, you were with Nate and I, right? On the little skiff?
Oh, yeah. We were working our way to Tank Island, and we ended up scalloping the whole way to it. It was too low, and we were push pulling and dip netting.
Yep. Got our limit. We literally got our 6-gallon limit by doing that. Just trying to get from like Long Gap to
at a low tide.
So we're gonna have a great season this year. We're very excited. Let's mind our P's and Q's on the waterways. We're going to be talking a lot about that.
Absolutely.
But before we get started talking about scallops, I want to see what has been caught the past couple of weeks. We can't hear you, Brie.
It's ready.
It's ready. The video? All right, so let's watch this scallop video real quick. It was on Bay News 9 yesterday, and I think this morning. You'll recognize some faces on there. I'm so proud of Brody. He really took charge on this one, Billy. Wait till you see it.
That's probably why it looks so good.
This is the first time for us that we've ever seen this.
In the Gulf waters off Ozello Key, Captain Gary Bartell and his son Brody investigate its depths, noticing a bounty of scallops in the beds of seagrass below.
About a month ago, we noticed while on an airboat ride, we were going slow and there was some dolphin next to us that we were playing with, and we noticed that they were just kicking up abundance of scallops. And then we noticed, we looked behind the boat, we saw where we were kicking up scallops. And we were just so shocked, being over a month away from scallop season, and there's already scallops this close.
It's a promising outlook for the scallop season ahead, which starts July 1st for Citrus, Hernando, and Levy counties. Bartell gives credit to a recent initiative that is providing those smaller scallops more time to develop.
We would keep those little scallops alive in our live wells, and then we'd put them right back at the mouth of the St. Martin's River, right in front of Ozello. So they were untouched all season. One scallop, no matter the size, can produce up to 1 million eggs per day.
The method allows those scallops the time to release their babies, which then develop into adults. It's a cycle, Bartell says, that repeats every 3 years.
One of the major contributors why it's so good is the scallop sorters being utilized more. That's number one. Number two is with every bad comes good. We had the hurricane, the rain last year that really just put an end to all activities on the water. So that gave scallops more time to produce.
And with an above average season expected ahead, the scallops are sure to play a pretty important role in the local economy as well.
From July to mid-August, a lot of people survive off of it. It's such an economic thing for our area, so we prepare all year just for this month and a half.
Preparations cannot start soon enough for the small mollusks that have a mighty hold on the area. In Citrus County, Calvin Lewis.
Alrighty, so thank you to our friend Calvin Lewis from Bay News 9 for coming out and checking out the what we've got to offer for scallops this season. First time he's ever been in the water and saw a scallop up close.
Nice.
Right as soon as we got back to the dock, he booked a trip for him and his fiance.
Can't argue with that.
So, all right. So let's go ahead and go into the Extreme Decalz Catch of the Week.
Yes.
And let's see what's been caught this week. There we go. Nice looking redfish.
Get them youngins out there. Love to see it.
Sweet.
Very nice. Getting out there chasing bass.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin, my man.
Nice.
Oh, that's a good looking mustache.
Quinn's got it going.
There it is.
Man.
That's a trophy maker right there.
He's a fishing, catching fool, man.
Oh, absolutely. Nice little snook.
Good job, James.
Very nice.
The Q8.
You can see the pinfish still flop around the belt.
Yeah.
There's a mess.
Wow.
Somebody went and played offshore.
Too cool. Look at the mahi.
Absolutely.
Some Gulf mahi.
Got a handful of them. Good red.
More reds. Nice hair.
God, they always seem to bite better out of season.
They've got calendars, I'm telling
Yep. Always seem to bite better.
Wonder if that was his hair or if it's his beard. You see that Justin in the background? Yeah. Look at that. See it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That's a good question.
Justin, if you're watching, is that your hair or your beard?
Maybe
Or is it
both.
both?
I bet it's
Yeah.
both.
Hopefully he's wearing pants.
Yeah. Possibly.
Solo fish, you never know.
Yeah. Getting it done.
A good looking red.
Lots of
Hey,
redfish.
Teaching
Cool spot pattern. too.
teaching Grandpa Ken how to fish.
How to fish.
Love the hat, Maddie.
Kid's growing quick.
She's like 12 feet tall.
Yeah, too quick.
Not the same little kid we had running around here years ago. Nice red.
'Tis the
Love to
season.
see it. Oh, it's like a bit of a windy day too.
Yeah.
That's a mustache.
That's a cool spot pattern.
Yeah.
That's a mustache.
I like that spot.
There's some funny looking redfish.
Ew.
Got away from working on the house to out fishing.
Surprised he still remembers how to fish. He knew Snoop batteries.
Snappers. That's
Very
very worth.
nice. Yes. Handmade
Far to be out in the kayak in that thing.
It's a big boat to be paddling.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she didn't drop a kayak in just to catch one from the kayak.
We've done that before.
Yeah.
And Mario, you said Pam can't catch fish.
Oh,
I
yeah.
call bull.
No, she can catch them.
Nice little bass you got.
We've done some mothership fishing.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
getting
a
into some
peacock.
peacocks. Very nice.
That's cool. You don't see those on the
No,
on
they're
the,
not from here. Very nice. Well, I've got a good meal
Trying
kind
to chops.
of had.
Yeah.
Good trout. I know there's still a handful to be found out there.
Oh, yeah. Look at this
That's
sheep.
good sheep,
That is an
absolutely.
ugly sheep's head. Golly.
Old Skinny getting
Here's the
back there in the
Skinny
skinny
show.
waters.
Strap in, it's the Skinny show.
Yep. Playing in some skinny waters out there on that airboat.
Is that why he's called Skinny?
Getting there.
And Justice said a little of both. The hair's
Little
tied
both.
to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Travis Roberts getting it done.
Travis loves that stuff with North Sozella.
He does well.
He's really got that area on point.
Yeah, I feel like he
Yeah.
thrives better in the summer than he does in the winter.
It almost seems that way.
Yeah.
Good fish.
Dang sure gets it done.
Such a good guy too, man. I love
yeah.
talking to Travis. We see him about once a year, but who is this?
Tyler?
Tyler.
Good fish, man.
That's a big thick one. Look at the size of the tail on it.
Absolutely.
Big old hammer handle.
I love when the sun's behind him on the photos. Makes them fins light up.
Good deal, man.
That's
There's
awesome. Thank you all very much for sending that in.
Great looking fish. Great looking
Absolutely.
fish. All right, so let's hit a commercial break, and when we come back, let's talk to Captain Mario. He had a chance to bring out some family out fishing, so I really want to hear how he did and what are some of those famous Mario secrets.
That's it.
I know he had a stellar day, so we'll be right back.
Come join the fastest growing redfish series in the country as they kick off their 2025 season at Seahag Marina in Steinhatchee on January 25th, Panama City February 22nd, Jacksonville March 15th, Panacea April 12th, Cedar Key May 10th, St. Augustine May 31st. Then join us as we crown our champions September 19th and 20th in Steinhatchee at Seahag Marina. For more information, visit our website, flredfishseries.com, or check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
The Ayinde Matthews State Farm Casting Couch. I'm Captain Mario Castello, and Captain Gary has talked me into giving away my secrets tonight. We had a pretty good weekend of fishing. Actually, it was my stepson's 18th birthday, Landon. Happy birthday, Landon.
Happy
and
birthday,
he wanted to go
Landon.
fishing with the family, so we brought the family out.
A lot of secrets.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we got a bunch of but he decided he wanted to go fishing, so yeah, sure. I know a guy. So
and I was busy, so Mari had to take
yeah, that's what it was. Gary had his hands full. But we went out and just kind of tooled around the islands like we normally do. St. Martin's Keys is always a great place to go red fishing this time of year, summertime. It's pretty good year round, but specifically in the summertime, the redfish come out in droves. But we just poked around, threw some live bait, threw a little bit of plastic baits. We started... Where did we start? We started not quite on the outside, on some of the inner islands. Did really well. We end up having our limit of redfish on our first island. And I believe we only got one short the entire trip. And we probably landed 11, 12, 13 fish. And I didn't take any pictures. My wife's got all the pictures. I need to get
I was
those
curious
from her.
on why we didn't see any pictures up there. I just figured you didn't catch anything.
No, we did. I got video. I just don't have any pictures. Yeah. But we did really good following mullet schools like we always do. I mean, I don't know how many times we say it. It sounds very cliche, but we follow mullet. If you find mullet, fish around them. If you see them up close to the trees, cast up close to the trees. If you see them away from the trees, cast away from the trees. But just cast your baits like you're trying to catch the mullet. That's a kind of a good way to do it. It's not that. It's not that difficult, but we find the mullet schools. Kind of pay attention to which way that they're moving. Sometimes you'll see them moving faster. Sometimes you'll see them moving slower. The faster moving mullet, I like to throw on the outskirts of the schools of mullet. I don't know. It just seems to be. It works pretty good for me. But if you see them slow rolling, kind of bouncing off of each other or rubbing the bottom, I'll throw right in the middle of the big schools of mullet that we see. Those redfish like to follow those mullet because they kick up all their food. They kick up all the pinfish, the crabs, the shrimp, all the little tiny things that swim around in the around the bottom. When those big mullet schools swim over top of them, it just kicks up their food, and the redfish just follow them. I don't know. I guess they're lazy. I would call it efficient. They're not really lazy. They're just more. They're very efficient feeders. We started a little bit on the inside, worked our way to the outside, only stayed out for maybe 3 hours. We caught quite a few redfish. We ended up taking all of our limit home. We're supposed to have a fish fry hopefully this weekend. I'm not sure if we are or not, but I'd really like to do that. It's been a while.
Just got to make the time for it. That's all.
We got to make time. It's getting tough nowadays. Everything gets in the way, but not enough hours in a day, I guess. But yeah, we're just we threw a lot of live shrimp. That seems to always be a good choice if you can find them this time of year. The further into the summer goes, they're going to be harder to find. My next go-to would be cut mullet. It seems to work just about any time of the year. I like using cut bait a little bit more in the wintertime, but in the extreme heat of the summer, it's always good to have cut mullet or cut ladyfish. It's also really good to use. And Gary actually showed us a few weeks ago on how he likes to cut his mullet up, and I can tell you it works really good. It works a lot better than the way I used to do it. So I learned something from you, Gary. I like that. Yeah.
Can we record this?
Yeah.
Technically, it is.
It works really good. But
I learned that from Don Chansey. So.
Did you? Yeah. But it's a great way to keep your mullet on your hook. It seems to work better than the old redfish jelly donut. It's just chopping a big old chunk off. But yeah, the redfish schools are out and about. We're starting to see the bigger schools, which is really nice. And we see big schools maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a month. Not very often, but here recently we've been seeing the big schools like 2 or 3 times a day, which is really, really nice to see. And Billy ran into a very, very large school of them, which I haven't seen them yet, so
it was a gorgeous sight, I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out there and check it out. But those are the schools that we really want to see. 50 fish and more.
Is there a side of the island that's a little bit more preferable? Like, okay, you have this giant island. Well, how do you choose which side to fish on, minus watching for the mullet?
Well, the fish are gonna swim around the island no matter where. They're gonna follow the food. Yeah. Of course, they're gonna be following the mullet, but me personally, I like to fish the lee side of it where there's not as much wind. It just makes it easier for us to cast. But they can be just about anywhere on the islands. But anywhere that the current has to make a really sharp turn to get around structure, I like to hang out in those spots. The mullet seem to like it there too. But just go around nice and slow. If you got a trolling motor or a push pole, just work your way around the islands until you see the big schools of mullet, and hopefully the big schools of redfish are going to be right behind them.
Nice.
But I wish I could have got to fish that school that I found earlier this week.
I can do that for you.
It was probably, I'd probably say about 50 yards long and probably 30 yards wide as far as the amount of push that was happening right along the island. I mean, it was a pile of fish, well over 50.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a gorgeous sight to see.
Yeah,
I wanted to circle back on them, but I didn't want to run them out at the same time.
Yeah, I know it. I remember back, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 years ago, that was very commonplace to see these giant schools. I don't know, 2021, 2022, it started to slow down a little bit. And actually last year was probably one of the tougher redfish years that I've had in a long time. But last year,
a lot of people struggled.
Oh yeah. But this year, we haven't had any trouble at all finding good schools of redfish. So I like to see. I like that they've bounced back pretty good. You know, so
absolutely. And maybe it's found them. They were only like a foot and a half of water.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. 18 inches of water is what I'm looking for. That's their happy. 18 to 24 inches of water is their happy spot. Any shallower than that, they get a little skittish. Any deeper than that, they're underneath the trees. You can't really. You have to coax them out to get them to eat. But that 18 to 24 inches is their happy spot.
I've got such a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do a surprise call to one of the captains and have them give us a fish.
I see who's on your.
Let's see.
We should do this on a Wednesday, so it really isn't.
Call somebody. There we go.
He probably thinks you're going to give him a scallop trip.
Even better.
Well, you better answer then.
Come on, Matt.
Is it pizza night?
Although Matt is smart. You should have called Jacob.
Ooh.
I just got
that. All right, we'll call another.
Yeah.
We'll try number 2.
Matt knows what day it is, and he refuses to be a part of this.
Yeah. I don't have enough minutes on my phone.
My spark plug's loose.
Must be ladies' night.
No, the captains must be smartening up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Man. Nobody wants to talk to Gary.
They take the fun out of it.
This does not sound like Jacob.
Man.
Oh, man.
Nobody wants to talk to Gary.
All right, we'll see if somebody calls back. Damn.
Speaking of later, call Carl.
Who else would hate? Yeah.
I don't know. What's Carlos been fishing? Has he? No, he hasn't been fishing out of here. Maybe on the kayak.
Maybe Aaron?
Teddy.
Wow.
Call Teddy.
We'll see if one of them call back. All right.
Either way.
Our captain's getting smart for a change.
You know, Bree, Brody, and I, we went out on Father's Day.
Yep.
Great Father's Day boat excursion. Oh, you know what? I want to give a very large shout out to James Curry for getting my T-Craft back in action. Incredible job with the fiberglass, the transom, blending everything back in, communicating throughout. Top notch. James, if you're watching right now, I cannot thank you enough.
You just didn't tell us that we had to get 5-inch thick through holes.
Yeah, Billy's a little upset with you, but
gorgeous work though.
It was incredible, absolutely. So if you guys need anything fiberglass done, James Curry, he's your guy. Reach out to him. Super humble, nice person.
Yeah,
just a
reasonable price for the work that man went through.
I want to go reasonable price.
But for what you got, I'd give it to him.
I wouldn't do it.
Not for that.
Couldn't do it either. So the 425 is coming next. Because that transit can definitely hold it now. But anyway, so Sunday, that was the grand entrance of the boat back into the water. We went out, saw all the scallops we needed to see. So then we wanted to go see grouper. Wasn't stoked with the grouper numbers, shallow. Saw some decent ones. Nothing like last year, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm only finding maybe two a week running over ledges on the airboat.
Lots of shorts.
Did you stop by that deep hole we found last year?
Yes. Yeah. The first spot we went to, actually. Nothing at all like it was last year.
Dang.
Yeah. So.
What was the moon cycle when you went?
I don't know.
It was pretty full last weekend.
Yeah, it was Sunday. So
yeah. I haven't seen the dark in a while. I'm usually sleeping by then.
Well, I think the week before was a full moon.
Was it? So
yeah.
It was just after full. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have been cruising the flats. I don't know. I mean, I like I said, there was decent fish. Mm-hmm. I mean, we would have got our, there was a limit. There was a 6-person limit, but John saw, what we call the scallop ledge, and that was insane.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. We're still a little early. That being said, everybody prepare yourselves. It is looking like we're going to have the same season we had last year, 15 days.
Jacob said, see, this is why I didn't answer.
Jacob. So Matt doesn't have an excuse, though.
Matt knows too.
He had his ringer off.
It must be pizza night.
So 15 days of gag grouper fish harvesting we'll get.
Is it 15 days?
Yeah, it was September 1st to September 15th last year. Right?
Something like
something pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, it was 15 days. They were saying 88,000 pounds was over for recreational last year. I believe it. Do we agree with the with the 88,000? Do we agree with the allotted number that they gave us? No. We made that real clear 2 years ago when we had Andy from Noah on the show and Dylan Hubbard. Those were the numbers that were the issues. But that being said, once again, it gets brought up is more and more people are easily able to go out and catch gag grouper now. With the new charts, the new electronics, it makes it easy.
Makes it a lot easier than it was 10 years ago.
I know a lot of people, Billy, that couldn't go out and catch a gag grouper without some of the new technology. A lot of people.
Absolutely. 100%. I spend about as much days on the water as Billy does.
What, 300?
Yeah, but I mean, in all honesty, side scan. For me, side scan, that was a game changer.
Absolutely.
I learned a lot from it. I found a lot of spots.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, we knew of spots, and then turn on side scan 100 yards away. It's like, oh, well, I never knew that was there.
Yeah.
Then you get to that one, it's like, well, I didn't know this one over here was there. And it snowballs.
It does. So we still have a payback to do, 88,000 pounds. So from the discussions, we'll save this. We're going to do a special edition before July 1st. It could be on a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. I don't know yet, but Andy is going to come back on the show.
Nice.
Hopefully we have Dylan back on the show as well. And we'll get all the answers and questions. So, but just expect the same exact season. Now it does not look like we're going to do the one grouper per person harvest, which is a bonus because I don't know if everybody remembers, but when Andy was on the show, we asked Andy, hey, instead of doing the short season, could we just do a one per person? And what was his answer?
Just like Dylan had said, usually once they take that one fish away, you'll never get it back.
Yep. So I am glad to see that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, if you don't think you're going to be able to eat 15 pounds of fillets, just keep one.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. All right. So Mario, did you have anything else on your?
No, I think that was it. It's just a typical summertime redfish bite. You know, it's good. I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's good.
But you know what though, this show, except for the special edition that we'll do with Andy and Dylan, this is our last show of the summer. So we won't be back until September after this. So, you know, if you guys have any questions or anything, I hate to break it to y'all, but the inshore fishing does die down here until September when grouper starts back, and redfish, everything fires up in September.
And if they do have questions, they can always call the marina. We're always happy to answer anybody that calls. Hey, what's going on out there right now?
Dario will answer it. Yeah.
Just call Gary on his personal phone number.
Ask for Megan.
And they can call any of the captains that go out of here too. Yeah, we're more than willing to talk to you about whatever you need.
That's a cool thing. I mean, come down, hang out. You know, the captains all love to talk about fishing. They're not going to BS you, so most, yeah. All right, so let's go to a commercial break, and when we come back, Captain Billy is going to tell you exactly what you need while going out scalloping.
Okay.
I think John should do it, actually.
I agree.
No.
John.
I'm the hot mic.
What's going to be impressive, I think, is the hole shot. Like when we get that hole shot stuff dialed in and get the trim command curve all the way up to 100, and we just romp down on this thing, like everybody's going to have a holy shit moment. It's going to be pretty awesome. I've experienced it. It's pretty cool, man.
What's happening, y'all? Feel like I haven't been on the show long enough to be able to be up here, but you know, this is Tackle Table Talk.
Nature Coast
Financial Advisors, Tackle Table Talk. We're discussing a little bit on Scallop Gear, things that are very useful, helpful, and you know, may know it or may not know it. You know, like we were mentioning earlier, the scallop sorters, once you get yourself into the waters, fill up your bags, and this isn't a law by any means, but it is a massive help for pushing for larger numbers to keep the smaller scallops out there to be able to spawn. If the scallops fit through, pitch it back. The meat's not worth harvesting, but the eggs for next year are worth saving. Most of us will snorkel around, mass fin snorkel, carrying the bags. It helps out a lot. I do see people trying to stuff pockets, shirts, whatever they have for it. But once you guys start harvesting, your 5-gallon buckets is how you're going to measure it. You're allowed 2 gallons per person or 10 gallons per vessel, whatever is least. And when it comes to a 5-gallon bucket, few people just look at it and are like, all right, top it off. That's not where your 5 gallons actually is. It's 99% of the time it's going to be your first ridge of the scallop bucket or of the 5-gallon bucket itself. So just take note of that in case you guys do end up getting pulled over and checked. That is definitely where you're going to want your limits to be, is in those buckets up to that first line. When it comes to your snorkeling aspect, a quick little tip that we like to use, as far as, you know, us dealing with a lot of customers on boards, we always wash our masks with baby soap, Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. Not only does it help sterilize for our next guest, but this actually works as a stunning defog at the same time. Don't need a whole lot of it. Rinse it out, and doesn't burn your eyes, do any of that, but help keep you underwater longer without having to clean your mask. Yeah, You know, it washes.
It doesn't. She's right. It doesn't sterilize it, but it does clean.
Sterilize, but it does clean them. Whatever, Bree.
Yeah.
Another good tool that a lot of us do end up using is Florida Marine Tracks. I know it's just a hat here, but if you have a Lowrance, Simrad, something of that nature, and you haven't heard of it or don't use it, it is a very, very helpful tool for navigating our waterways here to be able to keep you into the deeper areas without chewing up our grass beds. Those grass beds are a very, very important thing for us to be able to save here. That's what the scallops are spawning in, living in, and also is filtering the waters out there for us. When y'all do stop to go scalloping, remember your die flag. This right here. That you're going to want at the highest point of the boat. If you guys like to fly the American flags, Florida flags, any other flags, just make sure your die flag is at the very tippy top.
And it has to be taller than your canvas.
Correct.
So
it
your
has to be
shade
the
cover,
tallest thing on the vessel.
It has to be the tallest thing on your boat.
Yep, the tallest. Using the old faded ones does work, but if you got a bright red one, you're going to want to make it visible for other boaters out there.
What about the wire strap, Billy?
The wire strap is a must to be able to keep that thing pinned out and visible at all times. You don't want that flag folding down the pole.
What is the wire strap? Show us.
This thing. The wire strap, that's what holds it up. So when this pole is standing, the flag is outright. That's what keeps it erect. Keeps the flag flying. Erect. Yes. And be mindful of other boaters out there. You don't want to, I'm pretty sure it's on plane less than 100 yards. You have to drop off plane and idle 300 feet. And if you are idling, you're going to want to stay as far away from people as possible. Do keep an eye out for any snorkelers. That's everybody's biggest fear. I know they like to think of that S word of things swimming around with a bunch of teeth. That is a lot less scarier than boaters to me.
And that does include the Rock Island Channel.
That does
so if there's scallopers next to Rock Island Channel.
Yep, it is not a true
outstanding Florida waterway.
I was going to say a Coast Guard marked channel. So, so with that, if somebody is out there scalloping right off the channel, you do have to drop off plane to avoid that.
Now let's talk about that. On the flip side, if you see PVC markers that have green and red, it's a channel.
It is a channel.
It's not the law. But so on the flip side, be mindful as well, because especially in the Rock Island Channel, especially in the Rock Island Channel, it is way more dangerous for anybody to drop off plane in a lot of areas there. So get outside, treat it like a channel. Please treat it like a channel.
Our Rock Island Channel may only be 6 inches deeper than the rest of the whole area.
Yeah.
So when that boat's on plane, he has to drop off. If he's hitting bottom, it is no bueno for anybody. So if you are going to scallop right there off of the channel, be mindful and probably push that 100, 150 yards away from the channel, just to allow boaters to be able to stay on plane, to be able to make their way into where they want to scallop. I mean, other than that, I'm looking forward to scallop season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one.
Mesh bags. Billy, why don't you talk to us about some tips on, somebody wants to take a break. What's the best thing they can do with their scallops? You got really 2 or 3 options.
I mean, I always take the little rope handle, I slip it around the wrist, and I float.
Well, if somebody wants to get on the boat and take a break.
Somebody wants to get on the boat and take a break?
Yeah, if somebody wants to get, so leaving that mesh bag.
Oh yeah.
Almost all boats have cleats.
Hang off the cleat.
Make sure
the scallops in the water.
Make sure they're fully submerged in the water. That's what we prefer our clients to do, so that we can sort through the scallops instead of just them throwing it right in the cooler. A lot of people think you can throw it in a bucket with water. They're still going to die.
Yep.
They need oxygen.
Yep, that bucket's only going to yield so much oxygen before they end up burning it out. So they'll technically suffocate and drown in their Gulf waters.
Billy, what would you say is your number 1 tip and technique to find these scallops?
Tips and techniques. So,
what's your number one go-to? How do you do it?
As funny as it sounds, it reminds me of like an I Spy book. I will look at the grass beds as a camouflage, and I look for the odd things that are in the camouflage that don't quite match, and that's how I end up picking them up. I like to challenge I mean, that's how I look at it, you know, almost like a deer. They're looking for the oddball thing out of the grass beds out there. You know, I do like to challenge. When I do run a scallop trip, I'll challenge the whole boat. If I catch more scallops than the whole boat, I'm keeping your catch. I don't ever do that. But it does get people motivated to ask questions on how are you catching so many scallops out there. The other thing is the actual ridges of the scallop shell itself. That is a dead giveaway. Looking through the grass beds, you know, all of the blades out there are on the smooth side, and then all of a sudden you see little ridges. A lot of people say they see the blue eyes, but my eyeballs aren't that great. I can pick out shapes more than colors.
It helps to know colors first.
What's that?
You need to know your colors first.
That would help, and that's why I go for the shapes. Yeah, scallops, they're going to have a white side 90% of the time, and that dark green side is going to be your camouflage for the scallop. 99% of the time be up what you're looking at. You're sadly not going to see the white side so much. But yeah, I mean, I personally like to stay at the surface and scan. I move as slow as absolute possible.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
That's because it's hot out there, Gary.
That's it. You will find some orange ones out there, which are pretty cool. I'd probably say, I don't know, what do you think? They're 1 in 200?
Yeah. 2%.
About 2%? Yeah, somewhere in there. Those ones are pretty cool. My mom always saved and made Christmas lights out of them. I don't know why. But yeah, scalloping is it's a very enjoyable underwater Easter egg hunt. If y'all haven't done it, I do recommend it at least one time. And they're actually quite delicious, especially on the raw side.
I like forming a grid pattern.
A grid?
I do a grid. You know, we get all these people out there, they just go around and swim around in circles.
Yeah.
And they cover the same ground for 15 minutes. Captain, the scallops ain't there. You got to swim in a different body, different portion of the water there.
And how you like to do the grid, I like to start closest to the boat and work my way out in a big spiral. And I'll constantly pop up and judge my distance from the boat and be like, all right, I haven't been here yet. Power poles are a great thing to have out there. If you guys have one on the boat, it's a great option versus dragging a big steel anchor across the bottom.
Yeah.
But if you do end up having a big steel anchor, I personally like to go down and actually personally dig it into the bottom itself, just to make sure that it's just not dragging. Once, you know, ripping up the grass beds is a big no-no for the area. And then also when you're in the water and your boat's drifting away from you, it's a long swim.
It seems like once or twice a year, I find a broke boat. It's not anchored
There's
anymore.
nobody on
Anchor's in the water.
Did you see that boat Sunday? That was between you and I? That was bottomed out by Bird Key?
Yes.
I forgot to tell people that. All right, Bill, we got a good question here for you. Captain Billy, why are some scallop shells orange?
I will rule that into, the orange color on some scallop shells are due to the, what the hell? You're supposed to give that to me. I can't read that.
I couldn't pronounce it either. Just try.
Wow. Presence of Zoxithin, the natural pigment in female scallops' productive organs. Interesting.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah. Interesting.
I've made up so many different things.
What was it called?
Zoxithin.
Zoxithin.
Yeah, that's different.
I don't know what Zoxithin is. I've never heard.
I'd have to Google that too.
Yeah.
Something in the reproduction.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I never knew it.
So during the spawning season, when the female scallop is ready to release her eggs, the pigment can spill over into the adductor muscle, giving it a pinkish orange hue. The coloration does not affect the taste or quality of the scallop meat.
Okay, yep. I mean, I have seen the meat itself, oddball colors. They don't taste any different. Yep.
I've always wondered that.
The power of Google.
Dude, AI is getting crazy.
Yeah. We all have.
I can't wait till it just starts making things up.
A bunch of cool little tips and tricks. Yeah. Why don't we? Why don't you go? What about you, Gary? What are some of the tips that you do?
So,
the Clam King.
What's that?
The Clam King.
The Clam King.
I used to have a funny nickname, not the Clam King. What was it? Oh man, what was it, Bree? Yeah, no, it was
She
funny.
said, doubt it's funny.
Yeah. Okay, all right, anyway. I tell all my clients, always swim against the current. I mean, it is...
That is another good one.
Mm-hmm. You know, we have grass. We have beautiful grass beds all over the St. Martin's Reef. And some of that stuff is like 2-3 foot tall.
Yep, they get long.
So when that grass is bent over like this, there's some perfect example on the video there. You want to swim on top of the surface. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your time diving down and sorting through, because the lower you get, the smaller scan that you have. So you want a bird's eye view, like Billy was saying earlier. So if that grass is bent over towards you, you're swimming at the surface, and then you're looking straight down through the grass at all times.
See into it. Yeah.
Yep. So the grass is sitting there doing this, waving, you're up here, you can see down through that grass as you swim. And I tell everyone, don't look out way out this way. Don't look out way out this way. Just ever so slightly scan left and right. Set up a good grid pattern. Try to stay within 100 feet of the boat. And when you reach your 100-foot distance from the boat, just drift or move over 10-15 feet and then drift back same direction, move over 10-15 feet and then swim. So you're gonna save a lot of breath. Did you see that hawk just fly by?
No, missed it.
That was pretty cool. Squirrel.
Yeah. But I did like in the video, Brody got his finger stuck in the scallop.
Oh yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, watch your fingers. When they usually get a hold of you, they don't like to let go all the time.
So I'd say that's, you know, I all of my speeches that I start out with and instructions, that's something I really highlight. The other thing I tell everybody, especially first-time scallopers, is your first 20 minutes, do not spend scalloping. Spend it snorkeling, because you're going to think everything's a scallop. You're going to be diving down, just go out there, enjoy the water, get familiar with the water, get familiar with the bottom.
What's that camouflage look like?
Exactly. At some point, things are going to start sticking out to you and say, hey, that doesn't look like grass. That doesn't look like coral. So, Mario, what's your...
Well, there's a couple of things that I would do, but just to touch on what you were saying, the area that you scan, the bottom that you scan, you really don't want to look too far from where you're at. So I tell people, as far as their arm reach, that's the amount of bottom that you're going to want to look at directly. You're sitting in 4 to 5 to 6 feet of water. If you look too far over just say you look 10 feet over to the right, you'll miss everything that's right in front of you. So you really don't have to scan any further than arm's reach to find these scallops. And again, what he was saying is you want to swim into the current while the grass is laying down. Much easier to look at the bottom because a lot of times it'll be right on the bottom. And if that grass is laid over going this way and you're looking this way, it covers them up like a blanket. You can't even see them. So it's much better if you swim into the current. Another thing is you have to be able to see these things. That's how you catch scallops. You're not trying to attract them with baits or lures or anything like that. You actually have to physically see them. So keeping your mask defogged is major. Billy was talking about using the baby shampoo. Anything they make commercial defog.
One of my personal favorites is the all-white Crest toothpaste.
Yeah. Original.
Yeah, the original Crest toothpaste. Yep. That'll last darn near all day long, but you do really want to rinse your mask out or you're going to have some very minty eyeballs.
Yeah, minty eyeballs.
Oh, that'll make you cry if you mess up.
There's plenty of ways to keep your mask defogged. I've seen a trick. If you have glass lenses on your mask, I've seen people take a lighter and get it hot. And clean it off, and it works really good to keep it defogged.
In the new masks, sometimes they'll come in with instructions. I know when I bought my mask, it said to heat the glass up.
Yeah.
It comes with like an oily film on it, and you have to literally get the inside of the glass portion
and burn it off
where it gets black.
Yep.
And kind of burn that oil and grease off of it before you apply.
You don't want to ruin your lenses, so you just be careful when you do it that way. But
it's not like you're using a blowtorch.
Yeah. But last year, I found something like on accident. We were all on the boat, and I was eating a piece of watermelon, and a piece of watermelon fell into my mask. I had it laying down like that. And I went to go try to grab it. My hand, I got arthritis pretty bad. I was trying to grab this thing, and it was just rubbing all on the inside of my mask. And I'm shaking the thing out, and I noticed wherever that watermelon was, it was clean. I was like, well, let me try it, just because. So I rubbed the inside of my lenses full of watermelon juice, and I'll be darned, it works pretty decent for if you don't have anything else. Watermelon juice.
What's the limits again?
You know, scallops. 2 gallons per person or 10 gallons per vessel, whatever's least. So if you have 4 people, 8 gallons is your max. If you have 10 people, 10 gallons is your max.
You know what my favorite defogger is?
Hot Tua.
And spit in that thing.
Spit in that thing. It works.
He loves that part. No, the saying.
You got to keep it slick.
Saying, yeah. She was appalled. She wouldn't even walk in the store when we did the Hawk Tua shirts. Remember that?
Why?
I do.
Refuse to look at them. Yeah.
And
you don't like
they
to
sold?
I guess she does. She's not a spitter. So.
Alrighty then. She don't quit. She don't spit.
Yeah.
When everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. A relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Alrighty, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We've got a good giveaway package here. Florida Marine Tracks cap.
The old dad hat.
Here, Billy, hold that there. All right, I didn't want to do it, but Billy said we had to. We're gonna give away one of these.
Yeah.
No.
More you hear, pick up five more.
All right, there's that. A Bubba tool tether. Love this device. I use my trolling motor remotes on this. Love it.
It is nice when you don't want to have a lanyard around your neck.
Yep. Something else you should really use, especially in the summer, is a awesome buff. So we got a Bubba buff. Boom. Something else you should be using, Redneck sunscreen spray. Bam. My favorite popping cork of all time, the only popping cork that I'll use nowadays is the submersed popping cork.
Non-submersible, submersed popping cork.
3 of those bad boys. All 3 of the good colors. See if Billy catch all 3 at one time. Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Helps having bear mitts.
And then, one of my favorite hats of all time, the Mad Skills Electric.
Heck yeah.
With the American flag mesh. Camo front.
Got to see Mr. Tommy today myself.
Oh, missed that one.
Yeah.
That was a bad throw too. All right, so tonight's question. It's not a question. The first 12 people to tag. All right, so John just asked a question. It's @ and then you click on their name as soon as you start typing it out. The first 12 people to tag one of the sponsors of Fish Talk Live.
Any of them.
Any of them.
That's
Doesn't matter which one.
A with a circle around it.
If you see their product in this show, hanging on the wall, you hear us talk about it, the first 12 people to tag one of our amazing sponsors, you get added on to the Extreme Decalz Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, there's a little hint.
I mean, there's 2 of them in the picture right now.
Any more tips? Any more
Tell you what, why don't we put the Wheel of Fortune on, Barry?
There's a few sponsors around here.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
A few there. It's good.
Wheel of Fortune. Say it every week.
There's 12. There's 12 of them on the Wheel of Fortune.
Ooh.
There's one that we haven't added yet, but we'll add on for the next season. That boy. Seakeeper ride. So the first 12 people to tag one of the amazing sponsors we have.
If y'all want one of those spots, better tag it.
Tag it. Rosella Keys Marina is not included.
Nah, you
can tag them anyway. So.
Yeah.
Won't get you on the board, but call us out.
I do that on TikTok. I've been tagging you guys.
I need to get TikTok. I was thinking about starting a TikTok and then having Billy just run it.
Oh,
because I bet you that'd be a very interesting TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Big Talk. Bic, with a B. Bic. Yeah. Dude, I tell you what, her mind's in a gutter.
It's gone.
Big gutter.
She's gone.
I think you put it there.
Yeah. She hangs out with you way too much.
She's just getting ready for a trip to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas.
We're going to sit the penny machines. I'm excited about the casino buffets.
Oh, I can see that being pretty good.
Oh, man.
Think you'll find scallops at the buffet there?
Maybe.
Probably. We'll see.
But either way.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good?
John's got it.
All right.
Well, that was.
We got Denise G, Gavin, Scott Prater, Chris Hardesty, Charlie Harris, Roger Bird, Jessica H, Lance Potter came, Clamor, Brandon, Justin, and Jennifer.
All right, so who was the first one?
Denise.
Rosella Keys Marina. Second.
Gavin.
Third.
Scott.
Power Pole. Fourth.
Chris.
State Farm.
Charles
Harris. A man. Florida Redfish Series. Next.
Mr. Roger Bird.
Whoa, Abyss Battery.
Jessica.
BAJÍO sunglasses, Jessica.
Lance Potter.
Extreme Decalz, Lance Potter.
Hey, how about it?
Yeah, sweet. That worked out.
Good friends with Brian. Bubba.
Brandon Cassidy.
Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
The one and only Justin Wilkerson.
Whoa, Justin Wilkerson. Extreme Foam Decking. Getting ready to get that done.
And Jennifer Harris.
Jennifer Harris?
Yep.
We're missing one.
You haven't hit marker 48 yet.
That's marker 48.
7, 8, 9, 10.
You were one behind.
I have 12.
Okay, so let's start over. Denise.
Yep.
Summers.
Denise. Gavin. Scott. Chris. Charles. Roger. Jessica. Lance. Ken. Brandon. Justin.
Jennifer. Okay.
Ken was the one that missed.
Yeah.
You skipped one. Yeah.
My shoulder hurts. Mario, can you do this?
Oh, man.
Come on.
Let me hobble over there. Hold on. It'll take me a second.
Gotta stretch
A
out.
lot of people think that, fishing guide must be easy.
Oh, no.
Every one of our guides are crumbling.
Everything hurts. Everything hurts. All right.
Oh, got one.
You guys ready to spin the wheel? Hey, I got a hat on today, too. Look at that. It's called fish on.
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Yeah, it's for one of our vendors. They actually make a handful of hats, and we asked them to put some cool stuff on it. Some of them have ducks on them, some of them have fish, and some of them have antlers. So
that's
I got
cool.
the redfish on. So. All right, let's spin this thing. Which way do you want to go? We go down with it?
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Here.
We're going with Extreme Foam Decking.
I'm going to go with Jessica's BAJÍO. Oh, no.
Oh, Power Pole.
Who's Power Pole?
Do you remember?
3. Scott Prater.
Scott.
Who?
Scott Prater.
Scott Prater.
Yes.
Scott Prater. I coach with Scott.
How about it?
Little League coach. That's too cool, man. Awesome. Good deal, Scott.
Stop by and pick up some goodies.
Got some goodies for you, man.
Whoa.
All right, guys. So thank you very much for another fun, exciting season of Fish Talk Live. It was kind of an odd season with the hurricanes. We were off for a little bit, and we were on for a little bit. But
hopefully
you know what?
This coming year will be steady.
Yep.
They actually took the word hurricane out of the dictionary. So we're not going to have hurricanes anymore.
We just call it ocean.
All right. Now, please pay attention to that special edition. As soon as we hear back from Noah, and we're going to have Andy back on the show, Dylan Hubbard, and we're going to talk about the gag grouper season and the whys and wins and the exact information. So don't quote me on the season from last year. That's just kind of what I gathered from the last meeting minutes. But when we get the officials on the show, we'll know for sure. So
we're going to have the seminar.
See what the tide brings.
Oh yeah, Captain Mario's seminar. Captain Mario, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
All right, it's going to be Tuesday, 7 o'clock at Cedar River Seafood, and we're going to have our special guest is going to be somebody you may have heard of already, Captain Gary Bartels.
Hey! Woohoo! Heck yeah! Can Billy be there too?
Yeah, no, that was...
and John?
Yeah, bring them all. All right. We don't care, yeah. Have a good time, so.
Let's, you know what, we're going to mark my words on this. We're going to come up with a really awesome giveaway too.
That'll work.
And I want to bring the Wheel of Fortune to it.
Yeah, let's bring it.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
We can deal with it. Yeah,
I think it's something really cool to do.
We'll think of it. Yeah, we've got a week to think about that. So
we'll figure it out Tuesday morning.
Yeah. Or maybe Tuesday on the way.
About 6:30.
Yeah.
All right, so 7 o'clock, Cedar River and Crystal River. Those events are so much fun. And a lot of good information.
Oh yeah.
That show, there's gonna be that event, there's gonna be a lot of BS, but we'll come up with some good information. Mario, I love it. So I'll start thinking of things, or I'll stop thinking of things. Like, man, what do I say next? Like, oh, Mario, and then he rattles on. So come check it out. There's gonna be some always a great group of people there. Let's party hard.
Food is
have
great.
some great food. I'm gonna get those shrimp tacos.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Already made up my mind. So thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. Couldn't do the show without you guys. We got some big stuff coming up for next season. We've already got some new sponsors signed on. If you're interested or you know someone interested in sponsoring the show, hit us up. We'd love to have you. And we'll see you next Tuesday at Cedar River Seafood for Captain Mario's Fish Talk seminars.